The stars are right, and that means it's time for the Whisper in Darkness. I'm your host, the man from Leng, and on today's show, we have a grudge match. As for those of you who tuned into my last stream, you watched as Jenny Barnes and Skids O'Toole were buried under a ton of rubble that was the Clover Club during my playthrough of The House Always Wins. Well, I think Jenny and Skids are better than that, so we're going to give them another shot today at redemption at The House Always Wins. So we're going to jump right into the game here. We're going to we'll start from scratch. We'll draw them some new weaknesses and draw them a new set of cards, and hopefully we can get off to a better start to a campaign than we were the last time. I think the decks were sound. I personally blame the pilot. I think the pilot was probably responsible for 90% of the problems last game, so hopefully I'll be playing better and hopefully the decks will work, and we'll see how we go. So let's jump into it. We need to draw some weaknesses, so we'll shuffle those up. And Jenny is going to, she has Paranoia, which is the discard all your resources. That is not particularly great for her, considering how she relies on her resources so much. And Skids, he will draw a Chronophobia, which is at the end of his turn, take one direct horror if that's in his threat area, and he can take a double action to discard Chronophobia. Shuffle that into his deck. Let's draw an opening hand for Jenny. She gets a burglary, an emergency cache, an unexpected courage, a guts, and an arcane studies. Oh, that's a tough one. I'm going to get rid of the guts, the unexpected courage. What are we looking for? We want a weapon. I'm going to get rid of the burglary. Let's see what we get. We get a double or nothing, a manual dexterity, and her paranoia, and a flashlight. Alright, we will shuffle those back into her deck. Skids, he gets a hard knocks, a magnum, or a 45 automatic, sorry, an unexpected courage, a liquid courage, and an evidence. I am going to ditch everything but the gun and the hard knocks. We'll see what else we get. We get a flashlight, a guard dog, and a burglary. We will shuffle those back into our deck. Alright. As you know, in The House Always Wins, the investigators begin the game at La Bella Luna, which is a 2-shroud location with 1 clue per investigator, and it has the action Resign. This was a bust. We also have the Clover Club Lounge in play, where the Clover Club pit boss is hanging out. His prey is the investigator with the highest intellect, so he's going to be... So I'll get to pick and choose which investigator he will be chasing after. We've also got the Clover Club card room and the Clover Club bar. We'll take a look at our act, our agenda, and our act. We've got Agenda 1A, which is the Clover Club. You have entered the Clover Club casino in search of Dr. Morgan. The club is bustling at this late hour, filled with patrons looking to relax and drink, or make it big. You don't appear to be in much danger. And it has the text, each criminal enemy gains aloof, so criminals will not engage me while Agenda 1A is in play, and it has the forced effect, if an investigator deals damage to a criminal enemy, immediately advance, and it has a doom threshold of 4. And our act is Act 1A, Beginner's Luck. You need to find Dr. Morgan. The club is packed. Perhaps somebody knows where he is. And it has the response trigger. When you reveal a chaos token, you may treat that token as if it were any other token in the chaos bag. If you do, remember that you have cheated. Group limit once per round. And as you're all probably well aware, that cheating comes at a pretty high price in this, so we're going to try to avoid that if we can. And it has the objective: when the investigators have collected the requisite number of clues, they must immediately spend them and advance. And the requisite number is 4 per investigator, so I'm going to need 8 clues to advance the act. We're again playing with the standard chaos bag. The skull, just as a reminder, is a -2, and you may spend 2 resources to treat this token as a 0. And the cultist is a -3, and if you succeed, you gain 3 resources. There are no smashed tablets in the chaos bag, so we don't have to worry about that one. Which reminds me, I need to load a chaos bag. That probably would be a good start, so I will do that now. And I believe we are ready to begin the game. So we've got our weaknesses, we've got our hands, we're ready to go. So we will start with Jenny is going to play her flashlight for 2 resources. It has 3 supply. I'm going to use her first action. I'm going to spend a supply off the flashlight to investigate Libella Luna. So it is a 0. She's a 3 versus 0. We get a +1, so she gets a clue there. And we will do it one more time. So a 3 versus 0. And we get a skull, which is a -2, so she grabs that clue. Oops. Grabbed a resource instead. We will move, well, if we can move the clue. There we go. So she pulls 2 clues and plays her flashlight. We'll move on to Skids. Skids is going to save the guard dog. We are going to ditch it at the Clover Club Lounge so we can get ourselves a couple extra clues the easy way. Skids is going to play, I believe he will play his burglary for 1. We will play the 45 automatic for 4. Put that into play, and we're going to try to burgle this location to see if we can't get ourselves some resources. It's a 3 versus 2, not great odds, but we'll see what happens. It's a -2 and he fails. And that's the end of his turn. We go to the enemy phase. The Clover Club pit boss is a hunter, so he is going to move to Libella Luna, which is why it's so important to get those 2 clues off there right away. You don't want those staying there, because if you grab a clue while the Clover Club pit boss is at your location, he readies, engages you, and makes an immediate attack. So we don't want that. Alright, we get some resources and some cards. So Jenny gets 1, 2. Let's draw some cards. Searching for Izzy. There's Jenny's weakness. So we have to put that in play in the location that is farthest from us. And we have to take 2 actions to investigate to get rid of it. So it's got to go either in the card room or the bar. I forget which one has the easier shroud value on it. We will put it... We're going to put it in the bar, and we will see if we can't get rid of it there. And Skids draws an unexpected courage. We add a doom, and we draw ourselves some encounter cards. Jenny gets a hunted down. If there are no unengaged criminal enemies in play, hunted down. Gains surge. If there are 1 or more unengaged criminal enemies in play, each of them moves 1 location towards you. Each criminal enemy that engages you as a result of this effect makes an immediate attack. So that means So how does that affect the... There is an unengaged criminal in play, so it doesn't gain surge. And so this has no effect. So that's a freebie. So we'll take that. And Skids, he gets cursed luck, so he is going to be... His skill checks are -1 until he can pass a skill check by 1 or more. And burglary should be ready. So we move on to the investigator's next turn. We will start with Skids, I believe. Skids is going to move to the Clover Club Lounge. Flip that over. It is a 2-shroud location with 0 clues, and it has the text, while it is Act 1 Clover Club Lounge gains, take an action, discard an ally asset from your hand to gain 2 clues from the token pool, limit once per game. We will take that action to discard the guard dog and gain 2 clues. And then we are going to have Skids move to the bar as his 3rd action. And we'll flip that over. And it is a 3-shroud location, so that is not really what we want. Jenny. Jenny has 5 resources. We can move her. So we have 2, 4, 1, 2. She can move to the bar, and we can attempt searching for Izzy. So we can do an oh, we've got to take 2 actions, so we cannot do that at this time. But she can get a drink at the bar, so we will do that. Clover Club Bar's text, it's a 3-shroud location with 0 clues. You can spend 2 resources to gain 2 clues from the token pool and draw 2 cards. So we will do that now. So she will gain 2 clues and we will draw 2 cards. There is Leo DeLuca and her twin 45s. I'm quite happy to see those. So next turn we have a shot at searching for Izzy. We have to investigate, but we can boost that up a little bit, so we will take a shot at that. We move to the enemy phase. The Clover Club pit boss moves back to the lounge. He's in hot pursuit. We will gain some resources and draw some cards. Let's see what we get. We get a burglary for Jenny, and we get liquid courage for Skids. Alright, we go to the enemy phase. Or sorry, not the enemy phase. We are in the Mythos phase now. We will add a Doom. We will draw some encounter cards for Jenny. We get a mobster who will hang out there. He is not engaged with us. And Skids will get a rats, which does engage him. So fortunately we can use the rats to get rid of this cursed luck, hopefully. Alright. So, what are we going to do next? It is the investigator's turn. We want Jenny to do her double action for searching for Izzy. And we could have Skids take a drink, which would get us the requisite number of clues we need. But then we're going to have the pit boss to deal with as well. So I think what we will do, we need Jenny to act first. Jenny will take an action to play her, if I can get a there we go. She's going to play her Arcane Studies, first of all, which will give her extra willpower and intellect. We are going to take the double action on searching for Izzy to investigate. So that is a 3 versus a 3. We'll burn 2 resources to give her +2 intellect. And do we have anything else? We have... maybe we can burn the burglary. Yeah, we're going to get rid of the burglary to give her 3. So she is 6 versus 3. Oh, come on! A 4, so she fails. Do I have anything to help that? No, I don't. I should have pitched that unexpected courage for her. Alright, well, that's annoying. We have... Skids has the cursed luck, but he also has the rats to deal with. We are going to... he's going to attack the rats. He's got a 2... He is a 2 versus 1. We will pitch the unexpected courage to make him a 4 versus 1. And we get a skull, which is -2, so he is a 2 versus 1, which is enough. So we kill the rats and we get rid of the cursed luck. What does Skids need to do here? I could play the hard knocks, but he hardly has any... He doesn't have enough resources to really play it right now. He could have a drink, but that will immediately advance us, which might not be a terrible thing. I mean, we end up with the... He does have a burglary, though, but we don't have a lot of... Well... Jenny could pitch the double or nothing, which would give him 6 resources if he passes. That would be pretty good. But it would be a 3 versus a 3. Okay, what we're gonna do, I think, we are gonna spend... No, we can't do it that way. That's not the way it's gonna work. Yeah, it's a high-risk play. If we pass it, we could get 6 resources out of it. Yeah, let's do it. Let's give it a shot. We're in the Clover Club after all, and what's you can't be in the Clover Club without gambling a little bit. So we are going to attempt burglary. Jenny is going to pitch the double or nothing for him, and we will see what happens. It is a 4 versus 3. Does he have anything? He does have a flashlight. We will pitch the flashlight as well to make it a 5 versus 3, and we get a +1. So the double or nothing pays off. We gain 6 resources from the burglary. Alright, that was our second action. Now we have plenty of money we can spend to get the hard knocks out, and that will be our turn. Alright, the Clover Club pit boss moves in, and we'll bring him to front. Everybody else stays where they are. We get some resources. Jenny will draw a machete. That's nice to see. Skids gets an evidence. And now we go to the next mythos phase. So we add a doom here. And Jenny draws another mobster. And alright. And Skids gets the Twist of Fate, which if you remember, you reveal a random token, and if it's the Elder Sign symbol or a positive number, nothing happens, but if you reveal another number, take a damage, and if you reveal any of the symbols, you take 2 horror. So we will see what we get here. There's the cultist, so he takes 2 horror for that. Okay. Now we have an interesting situation here. What we could do, we could move back, Jenny move back to the Clover Club Lounge and ditch Leo DeLuca in order to get the last clues we need. But she really needs to pass this searching for Izzy, but it's a 3 shroud location. That's going to be tough to do. Alright, we're gonna take our 2, we'll take 2 actions, we'll spend 2 resources on arcane studies. It is a 5 versus 3 and we get a +1, so we successfully investigate instead of discovering clues, we discard searching for Izzy. So we will move her back to the Clover Club Lounge. And Skids, now we don't need to stay there. In fact, it's not to our benefit to stay there. He is going to move to the card room as his first action. We'll flip the card room. The card room is a 3 shroud location with 0 clues, and it has the game text, while it is Act 1 Clover Club Guard Room gains. Spend 2 resources, reveal a random chaos token. If it is the Elder Sign symbol, gain 2 clues and 2 resources from the token pool. If it is an even number, gain 2 clues, and if it is an odd number or any of the symbols, nothing happens. So he's going to move, and I think what we'll do, well, he could use his evidence to gain. It's a 3 versus 3 if he burgles, but it'd be a 5 versus 3. Yeah, let's burgle. I just want to stack up on some resources for the fight we've got coming here. So we will exhaust burglary. We will pitch the evidence to attempt. So he is a 5 versus 3. And we get a -1, so he gets 3 resources. Alright, Skids. Skids is rolling in dough in the Clover Club. And I think we'll use his last action to draw a card, which is a machete. The machete would come in very handy. We're going to spend 2 resources to give Skids an extra action this turn, and then we'll spend 3 more to put the machete into play. So Skids is well armed. The investigators are done. We go to the enemy phase. The Clover Club pit boss, we will move him after Skids. We will leave the 2 mobsters in the bar. Now we have to remember here that Skids did not take a drink. The only one who took a drink was Jenny. So if we draw any of those something in the drinks, we don't have to worry about losing actions so much. So we will ready up burglary. We'll gain some resources here. And draw some cards. Jenny gets an unexpected courage. And he gets an unexpected courage. We will add a doom token and we flip. And Agenda 1B is on the right track. Your questioning has drawn the attention of several men, hired thugs by the look of them. Francis doesn't want to be bothered, one of them says. We suggest you leave the premises before we force you to leave. So we shuffle the encounter discard pile into the encounter deck. If the players have completed extracurricular activity, advance directly to Agenda 2B. If the house always wins is the first scenario in the campaign, advance to 2A. So we will advance to 2A. So we shuffle this into our deck. We shuffle this into our deck. We advance to 2A, which is Underground Muscle. Most of the other patrons seem oblivious to the mobsters and goons closing in around you, but you recognize this for what it really is. You're about to get roughed up. So, because Agenda 1A is no longer in play, the Clover Club Pit Boss will engage Skids. The mobsters stay where they are for now. And we draw some encounter cards. Jenny gets a hunted down. If there are no unengaged criminals in play, hunted down gains surge. If there are one or more unengaged criminal enemies, each of them moves 1 location towards you. Each criminal enemy that engages you as a result of this effect makes an immediate attack. Oh dear. So that's bad news. So each unengaged criminal moves towards me and makes an immediate attack. So she gets engaged with both mobsters, and they both make immediate attacks against her. So she takes 2 damage. That kind of hurt, and it disrupts our plans quite a bit, because now we cannot take that action without having to deal with the mobsters. This isn't good. Alright, and what does Skids get? Skids gets a O'Banion's Thug. And he's a 4/2/4, and while he is engaged with you, you cannot gain resources. So we are flooded with enemies at the moment. So we need to get ourselves out of this situation as quickly as we can. Skids has the machete and the gun. We're going to probably have to use the gun. He's a 3, he's a 4. The gun has 4 ammo. So what we will have to do, Skids is going to shoot the Clover Club Pit Boss. We will spend that. He is a 4. We will spend 1 for Hard Knocks to make him a 5. 5 versus 3. We get a 2, so he takes 2 damage. Skids will shoot him again. We will spend 1 more resource to make it a 5 versus 3. We get a 0. The Pit Boss is killed and added to our victory display. And Skids can use his machete. Yeah, that's a tough one too. He's a 4/4, so he'd have to just spend 2 resources there to hack him down with the machete. He is a 6 versus 4. Ah! Come on. Come on, Chaos Bag, cooperate. So that is that. Skids is going to be engaged and take some damage and can't gain resources. We go over to Jenny, who is in a bit of trouble here. She has 5 resources. She could take 2 damage and then shoot. If we install her 45s, we could shoot both. Alright, we're going to take a risk here. We'd have to install over the flashlight, but we will have to do that. We will spend... What will she be at? She will be at +2. So she'd be a 5 versus 3 and doing +1 damage. We're gonna spend, I think we'll spend all 5 on that, just in case. So she will take 2 damage as a result of the attacks of opportunity. There are 5 resources on her gun. She will use her gun to shoot at the mobster. Oh, wait. Oh, I can't do that. So the mobster attacked us, both mobsters attacked us last turn. So she lost a resource. So she actually only has 3 resources. So we can only put 3 on her gun because of that attack. So she will shoot the first mobster. She is a 3, 4, 5 versus 2. There is an elder sign. She gets +1 for each resource, which is none, so one of them dies. And she will shoot the next one. Did we just draw 2 elder signs in a row? Wow. That doesn't happen all that often. Alright, so we shoot the other mobster and he dies as well. So Jenny clears those guys off. We go to the enemy phase. Skids takes a couple damage as a result of the O'Banion Thug. Skids will gain no resources. Jenny will gain 2. She gets another copy of Leo DeLuca. And Skids gets a flashlight. Alright, so that's actually quite nice because now we can discard 1 copy of Leo DeLuca, and if we ever get enough resources, install the other one and advance the agenda this turn. Alright, so we are going to, we've drawn our cards, we will add a doom, and we will see what happens. Jenny gets a rats, these bloody rats. They are everywhere in the Clover Club. The Clover Club needs an exterminator immediately. And Skids gets the Twist of Fate again, and he draws the tentacle, so he will take 2 horror. Skids is in deep. He's at 4 of 6. We do have Liquid Courage in our hand, if we can get it into play. So we are going to have to do that. So we will deal with, who do we want to deal with first? Jenny. We would advance, and then she could move. Sorry, we have to get rid of the flashlight because of her twin 45s. We know that. Alright, Jenny is going to squish the rats under her boot. We'll just do a 3 versus 1. She succeeds. Jenny is going to use her special action, the special action of the Clover Club Lounge, to discard an ally from her hand to gain 2 clues. So she gains 2 clues, and then the investigators have the requisite 8 clues, so they immediately advance to the next act. So we will flip. Act 1B is High Roller. After speaking to a number of gamblers and servers, it seems as though Dr. Morgan has taken quite the run lately. Instead of cashing out his winnings, he was convinced to double down. He was last seen entering the guarded hall near the back of the card room. Put the set-aside darkened hall into play. If it is Agenda 1, discard cards from the top of the encounter deck until a criminal enemy is discarded and spawn that enemy in the darkened hall. So we do not have to spawn an enemy in the darkened hall. Let us go get the darkened hall first of all. We will look at all the cards. We will find the darkened hall, throw it into play, and we will advance to Act 2A, which is Skin Game. Dr. Morgan is somewhere in the private section of the club where only VIPs and the club's managers are allowed. If you are to find him, you're going to have to sneak or even fight your way in. And it has the objective only investigators in the VIP area may spend the requisite number of clues as a group to advance. We need 2 clues per investigator, so we're going to need 4 clues to advance to the next act. So Jenny has 1 more action available to her. She is going to move to the card room. So the next turn we can move to the darkened hall. And then move to hopefully pick up some clues quickly so we can get to our next act, because we're quickly running out of time before all hell breaks loose. Skids, we've got O'Banion's Thug to deal with. Skids will have to spend his 2 clues, I think, to get... he can use his machete, so he is a 4 versus 4, plus 2 for Hard Knocks, 6 versus 4. Actually, we're not going to spend the 2 resources. We are going to save them. Skids will pitch an unexpected courage to make him a 4-4, or sorry, a 6-4, and do we pitch the other one? That's the question. 6-4. Yeah, we'll risk it. We'll risk it. 6-4. -1, so the thug dies. Alright, that was his first action. As his second action, we are going to spend 1 to throw Liquid Courage into play. And it has 4 supplies. And we can spend 1 to heal a horror. Then we test 2. So it'd be a 3 versus 2. So we could heal 2 horror, or we can move to the darkened hall. Skids is going to move to the darkened hall first. We will heal later. The Darkened Hall is a 4-shroud location with 0 clues, and it has the forced effect. When Darkened Hall is revealed, put into play the 3 set-aside back hall doorway locations. So we will go grab those now. We'll go grab our we'll look at all of those. I will throw those into the location deck so we can shuffle them up so I don't know which ones are which. Give them a shuffle and throw them into play. Alright. So we need 4 clues to advance, and we're running out of time. So I am going to mark Jenny just to remind me that she has had a drink, because that may become important here soon. We go to the next turn. We have no enemies in play. We get some resources, and we will get some cards. Jenny gets a Think on Your Feet. That could come in very handy here. And Skids gets an Evidence, which will be very helpful if we're fighting and or fighting in some of those locations. We can grab a clue. We will add a Doom, and we will draw some encounter cards. Jenny, she gets a Twist of Fate, so that we will reveal a random token. She gets a -2, so she takes 1 damage. Boy, everybody's hurting here. Alright, and we move to Skids. Skids gets another Thug. There are so many thugs here. It's not even funny. Alright. So far we haven't drawn something in the drinks, which is nice, because that will tax our actions terribly. What we can do... Jenny doesn't have anything handy to help Skids out as far as combat. She's got her twin 45s, but we're going to keep those for now. Just worried that we don't have enough firepower. So if Skids kills the Thug, he can move and then possibly investigate and grab a clue. Then Jenny can double move and investigate and hopefully get a clue. Alright, let's give it a try here. So he is going to... well, who's got what here? Yeah, he's going to have to spend his resources if he wants to be able to kill this thing. Alright, we will spend the 2 resources for Hard Knocks to give him a 6 versus a 4. That's all we can do. Ah, come on! -3, that's a fail. So now he's even. That is no good. That is no good at all. So what we can do... just lack the stopping power to get rid of these enemies. Skids is not in good shape here because we can't really kill this Thug easily. He's only a 4/4. Alright, let's give it a shot. Oh! Awesome. Awesome. Skids, you're the man. I should never have doubted you. Skids draws an Elder Sign at probably the best time I've ever seen an Elder Sign show up. So he gets +2 and he succeeds and gains 2 resources. So the thug dies and Skids is going to move to this one here. It is the back alley. It has 2 clues and 1 shroud. So that is good. And it has the game text. Action, resign, we can get out this way. And it's worth 1 victory point. That is his turn. Oh, that Elder Sign just... oh, that came at the perfect moment. Now, does he want to spend that resource to get an extra turn? Not yet. We are going to save it. Jenny is going to double move, because we have to move there and back. So Jenny is going to go to the darkened hall, and then she is going to go to... do we keep them together or split them up? We're going to split them up. She's going to go here. We will flip it over. It is the VIP area. While you are at the VIP area, you cannot draw cards or gain resources during the upkeep phase. It is a 3 shroud location with 2 clues on it. Alright. So what we need to do, he will need to grab those 2 clues and then move to the VIP area so we can spend the clues to advance the act. Can we do it though? That's the question. We are, well, we have run out of time because we are going to advance. So Jenny does not get resources, which hurts, or cards. Skids will gain a resource and a card. He gets an overpower, so that's very helpful right now. We will add a doom. That will advance the agenda. Sudden chaos. You hear a crash from somewhere outside and screams of pain in the lounge. A terrible monstrosity smashes through the entrance to the club, crushing the stairwell and knocking over gangsters and patrons alike. Spawn a random enemy from the set-aside Hideous Abominations encounter set in the Clover Club Lounge. Shuffle the rest of that encounter set, the set-aside Striking Fear encounter set, and the encounter discard pile into the encounter deck. Move all investigators and unengaged enemies from La Bella Luna to the Clover Club Lounge. Remove La Bella Luna from the game. So let's go see what our abominations are this time around. We will look at all the cards. We will pull our 3 abominations out. We will pick a random number between 1 and 3 to see which one we get, and it is a 1, so we get a conglomeration of spheres at the lounge. So we shuffle those, go into the encounter deck, those go into the encounter deck. I believe these are the rest of the... these are the rest of them that go in. So we shuffle, we'll move all those to the encounter deck. We are going to give it a shuffle for good measure, because we don't want to have what happened last time, where we had abominations up the yin-yang coming at us. Alright, and we advance to Agenda 3A, which is Chaos in the Clover Club. Amidst the chaos and confusion, the strange abominations attack everyone in the club. Screams echo through the halls as the blood begins to spray. And it has the forced effect. At the start of the enemy phase, discard each criminal enemy in the same location as an abomination enemy, and it has a doom threshold of 7. So we have 7 turns to get ourselves out of here before the whole building comes down on us again. And Skids and Jenny do not want that to happen to them again. So let us move on to the encounters. We need encounter cards. Jenny, she gets a Cursed Luck. Skids, he gets an Arousing Suspicions. Place 1 Doom on each criminal enemy at your location. If no Doom was placed by this effect, lose 2 resources. So he will lose 2 resources. And the Conglomeration of Spheres is going after the person with the lowest willpower. And that will be Skids. So we have 1, 2, 3 turns he's coming after us. Let's start with Skids. He is at the back alley. He has an evidence, and he has a 3 versus 1 there. So what we will do... Yeah, he could... The extra resources would be fantastic to have from burglary, but we really need to get ourselves out of here, because we've got the conglomeration to deal with and who knows what else. So we are going to... We will do a 3 versus 1. It's a -1, so he gains a clue. We will do a 3 -1, or a 3 versus 1 again. Yes! Oh, clutch Elder Signs today. We get, not only do we get our +2, but we gain 2 resources. So we are going to add 2 resources and grab the clue. Sorry, that grabbed his damage. Come here, clue. Skids will use his 3rd action to move back to the darkened hall, and he is going to take another action. Oh, but if we go into the VIP area, then we lose our resources. We can't gain cards or resources. That is not helpful. He can stay there. He could stay there for a turn, and then we can move him in next turn. Oh, this is going to be tricky. Alright, well, hopefully we won't draw many enemies. But if we move him in, he could help Jenny get those 2 clues, because he has these... He has an evidence. Shoot. No, I can't risk it. I need to hang on to my resources for fighting. So we will move to Jenny. Jenny is... It's a 3. She's a 2/3. She is going to burn the Unexpected Courage and the Think on her feet. Is there any chance of bringing Leo DeLuca out? Probably not. What's that give her? 2, 3, 4, 5 versus 3. She can spend... 1. We'll make her a 6 versus 3. And she gets a -1. Awesome. Alright, the cursed luck goes away. We grab ourselves a clue. Okay, we need one more clue. So she is going to spend 2 resources. Actually, she's going to spend 1 resource and ditch Leo to put her at 5 versus 3. Got it. Awesome. Alright, so she... Whoops, I put the clue in the wrong spot. You come over here. Alright, so she's there. Oh, if I'd moved him, we could have advanced. Darn it. Wasn't thinking about that. Alright, she is going to spend her emergency cage to get 3 resources. And we will end the turn. Skids gets a resource and a card. He gets on the lam. Non-elite enemies cannot attack you. But, oh, the abomination is not elite. Nice. Alright, the abomination has to move before we get carried away. It moves to the card room. We will... What are we going to do here? I guess we're just drawing cards, aren't we? We are adding a doom. Jenny gets Twist of Fate. Well, hopefully... I actually want her to draw a symbol here because I'd rather her take 2 horror. Auto-fail token will do. She'll take the 2 horror. Skids. Arousing suspicion. He loses 2 resources because there was no doom placed. That is fine. We will move. So that's that. Alright. We are in good shape. Hopefully. Now, how much does it matter that we do this in the right order? Matters quite a bit. Skids will move. Whoops. I forgot to shuffle those guys into the deck. Get into the deck with you. Well, that was a bit of annoying. They should have been in the deck. Alright, well, we can't do anything about that, so we'll just play on. I thought I put them back in the deck. Oh well. Skids will move. We will spend the clues as a group to advance. So we spend 2 clues there and 2 clues there. We flip this over and we are on Dr. Morgan's Fate. If the players have not completed extracurricular activity, you find Dr. Morgan gambling in one of the VIP rooms, but he appears to be playing cards with 2 unconscious bodies. Excuse me, his pupils dilated as though in a trance. He can't seem to stop laughing, smiling, and chatting with the other players. Put the set-aside Dr. Morgan into play in the VIP area. Advance to Act 3A, all in. Let's go grab our Dr. Morgan. And he is at the VIP room. Alright. And we advance to all in. All in. With or without Dr. Morgan, you have to get out of here. Fast. While Dr. Morgan is not controlled by a player, he gains Action Parlay. Test 3 willpower to shake Dr. Morgan out of his daze. If you succeed, place 1 clue from the token bank on him. If there are 1 clue per investigator on Dr. Morgan, take control of him. And our objective is, if each undefeated investigator has resigned, advance. So now what we need to do is we need to get 2 clue tokens on Dr. Morgan, rush back to the darkened hallway, rush to the back alley, and resign. And we will get ourselves, right now we've got 3 victory points. So we'll get 3 XP, hopefully, if we can get this done. So we've got Skids. Skids has 2 actions left. Skids is going to use 1 action to test his intellect, or his willpower. We're going to ditch the on the lam for 2. Well, do we do that? Does she have anything? No, she's got nothing. Alright, we're going to ditch it for the 2. Well, she has a better chance. She has a 5 versus 3. Shoot. What can Skids do? Skids could burgle. He does have a 5-3 for burglary if he needs to. That would get him some extra resources, which would really help us when we fight this sphere thing. He could then use the liquid courage to heal 1. Yeah, we're gonna burgle. We'll discard the evidence to give him a 5-3. Ah, come on. Alright, so that fails. We will spend... Do we want to discard a random card from our hand? Not particularly. Do we want to teal 2 horror? Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Yeah, let's heal a horror. And then we will test 2. We'll ditch the on the lam to give him a 4-2. Oh, for Pete's sakes! Alright, so we end up ditching a random card from our hand, I believe. 1 random card. Random discard. Ugh, not the overpower. Went to the wrong discard deck. Oh man, that hurt. We did heal a horror, but we lost. Oh, that was a tragic turn of events there. Jenny's turn. Jenny can... She is going to spend... It is a 3. We need 3-3. Where are we here? 3. She's a 3. It's a 3. She'll spend 2 resources to make it a 5 versus 3. Ah! Oh! Can't believe this. Alright. 5 versus 3 again. Elder sign. There we go. So that is a success. We put a clue token on him. We're low on resources, we're low on cards. We've got to get, if we can get him this turn, it's 1, 2, and resign. Because that's the best we're going to do, I think, at this point. We'll do it. 4 versus 3. Survey says. Ah! Fail. Alright. Nobody gains resources. But we do get some cards. She gets another machete. And he gets a hard knocks. None of which help us. Oh dear, this is not good. I thought we were in good shape. The conglomeration is on the move. Now we need to... they both drew cards. So we add a doom. We draw some encounter cards. Jenny gets a dissonant voices. She cannot play assets or events for a turn. And Skids gets us something in the drinks. Now Jenny is the only one who had a drink, so she loses an action, but that surges into a frozen in fear. Oh, that's really bad for Skids. That is really bad. And he's got a 2 versus 3, and we don't have anything to pitch that's going to help us. It was a mistake to spend that on the lamb. Alright. Jenny's a 3-3. We can just give it a shot, I guess. We just need 1. She only gets 2 actions, though. So, first action... Skull. Oh, and she has no resources. That's a 2. -2. She'll try again. Double skull. No luck. Skids is a 2 versus 3. He has 3 actions. We're better off just drawing for cards at this point. If there are guts in there. Yeah, this VIP room is killing me. Oh, they drew cards. They shouldn't have drawn cards. She should not have drawn cards. Let's throw that back and throw that back. Alright. Skids will draw a card. Draw a card. Draw a card. Alright, that's not good. Nobody gains cards or resources. At the end of his turn, he tests 3. That's not going to happen. That's a fail. Burglary is ready. We will... nobody has anything to do. So we will move to the oh, sorry, we have this conglomerate. Let's go back a sec. We're jumping the gun. The conglomeration moves. It is going to go after Skids. He will take a horror and that. Now we add a Doom. Now we draw some encounter cards. Jenny gets... Oh, we don't need any thugs. Jenny gets a thug. Her Dissonant Voices goes away. And Skids... He gets a thug. Oh, brother. How much damage is he gonna take? Man. Now we're flooded with enemies, and we don't have the resources we need to pass this check on Francis Morgan. But if we can get out, then we would be in... we could win this. Can she evade him a turn? She could try to evade him, which would... and then if the conglomeration... oh, we got a manual dexterity, which would draw her a card. Yeah, let's do that. Jenny is going to evade the thug, and she's going to play her manual dexterity. So she is a 5 versus 2. That's a 0, so he is evaded. So we'll dump him over here. She gets a card for that. Oh, it's not the right card, though. It's a 3/3. He didn't draw anything. She has 2 actions remaining. Let's draw a card. No luck there. Let's try... let's go for it. Bold. Let's be bold. Ah, that's the 3rd skull. 3rd skull I've drawn for that. Alright, that's a fail. Skids. He is only going to get 2 actions if he fights. He can shoot the conglomeration of spheres in the face and do some damage to it. He's going to have to take another round of damage to kill those 2 guys, but it's probably worth it. So he will make it a... we're going to spend a resource or a supply from the gun. He is 4 versus 1. He is 5 versus 1. That's another skull, but that's a -2, so he hits it. So he does 1 for himself, 1 for the gun, 1 for the vicious blow, so that's 3. 3 damage. Oops, got a bit carried away there. And we will shoot it again. And we will pitch the hard knocks to make it a 5. He succeeds. It takes 2 more damage. He has 1 action remaining. No, he doesn't have any actions remaining because he's got the Frozen by Fear, so he has to test that. Oh, close, but no cigar. No cards or resources for anybody. We add a Doom. First of all, we have attacks to deal with. We can't get too ahead of ourselves. So both of the O'Banion's thugs get whacked by the conglomeration of spheres, and the conglomeration hits Skids for 1 and 1. So Skids is nearly insane. He has 1 sanity left. Oh dear. Alright. We'll add a doom. Let's see how we do here. Jenny gets another Dissonant Voices, so she can't play assets or events, and Skids gets... Now this could be the end of Skids. This could be the end. Random token if it's a symbol. No, no symbol. So he just takes a damage. Dodged a bullet there. Next turn. Alright, Skids. You can kill that guy. And draw some cards to see if we can help Jenny with the test. Alright, Skids is gonna just hit it with his hands. 3 versus 1. He kills the conglomeration of spheres. He has 1 action left. He will just draw a card. No help there. Jenny is going to draw a card. Oh, oh, thank you. Unexpected Courage. We will play that. Jenny is going 5-3 for the clue on Morgan. Come on. Oh my god! I can't believe it. Oh, that's classic. That is classic. Draws the tentacle. We draw the Unexpected Courage, which is amazing. Then we draw the tentacle to fail. This game sometimes can just drive you mad. Alright, well, she is going to just try straight up. Here we go. -3, that's a fail. Alrighty, well, they don't gain clues or resources. I don't think we, no, we didn't test for his. Let's give it a try. No, he keeps the Frozen in Fear. Amazing. Amazing play there. Well done, Chaos Bag. Alright. Well, we need to add a Doom. We are running out of time again. Jenny gets a Rotting Remains. She tests 3 and takes a Horror for each. It's a 3-3. There's the 0 that we needed before, so she takes nothing. Skids gets a Mobster, which I guess is fine. He can just fight the mobsters and he can kill the enemies while we try to deal with Mr. Francis Morgan here. Does Jenny draw cards? That is the issue. We can kill the mobster easily enough. He does have 2 resources. We could take an extra turn to draw a card if we need to. Alright, let's attack the mobster. He is a 4 versus 2. There's the 0 we need. Mobster dies. He gets 1 action left. He will draw a card. He is going to spend his 2 resources to draw another card. No help there. Jenny is going to draw a card. She is going to do it. She's going to test her parlay straight up. Oh! Oh! Elder sign. Oh, 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 oh. +1. But that's a 0. That's fine. That's all we needed. Clue on Morgan. We take control. Alright. That is her second action. She drew a card. She did that. She is going to move. She is on the move with Francis Morgan. Let us get out of here. Does it matter who takes control of him? Where are we here? Place one cry if there's a take control of him. Oh, she does, yeah. Alright, Francis Morgan is in our possession. Jenny is going to move to the darkened halls. Holy cow, this is going down to the absolute wire. We've got one turn left. Can we do it? Alright. Skids is frozen. 1, 2. Oh dear, oh dear. Skids might not make it out. That frozen in fear is just too tough. Alright, well, Jenny gets some resources and a card. He doesn't get any. We add a doom. Oh no, we have one turn. Oh no! Oh, Skids. Skids is gonna die. Oh no. Oh, the ups and downs. Yeah, we have to add a doom. Frozen in fear costs an additional action, and he doesn't have any actions left. We needed those resources for the action. He can go 1, 2, 3, but he cannot make it out of the building. Oh no. Oh, that's too bad. Well, what could we do? 1, 2, 3. If he draws... If he drew... Would it help if he drew that? I don't think so. Well, we've got some encounter cards to draw first. So Jenny is got... Oh, that's nice. There's a conglomeration of spheres with her. And Skids gets... Oh, well, Skids could go insane first. So we could still get out of this. Each undefeated investigator. So if Skids goes crazy, Jenny could move and resign, and we would win. Am I right? It's each undefeated investigator has resigned. We get to advance. Okay, Skids, go crazy. Come on. Oh, yeah! Never have I been so happy to see a skull. Alright, so Skids takes 2 horror and goes insane. So that actually works to our advantage in this case. Skids takes 2 horror and goes crazy. He is out of the game. Zoe is engaged with the conglomeration of spheres. Zoe will move to the back alley. Zoe will take a damage and a horror. And Zoe will resign. Oh, holy cow. What a game. So, if each undefeated investigator has resigned, we advance. Safe for now. You escape the club, doing your best to look inconspicuous as several cars pull up near the street. A handful of grim-faced men and women exit, running towards the restaurant's entrance to take control of the situation. One of them catches your eye, his hand on the grip of his .38, but thankfully he turns his attention back to the rest of his crew and follows them into the club. You breathe a sigh of relief. If an investigator resigned with Dr. Francis Morgan under his or her control, R2. Whew! That was close. And I think it's the twist of fate probably saved us there, because otherwise we were going to almost certainly flip Chaos in Clover Club to 3B. And we would have been buried in rubble again. But instead of being buried in rubble, Skids will take a mental trauma, and we take control of Francis Morgan, and we get 3 XP out of it. So I'm happy with that, I think. I don't like the mental trauma, obviously, but considering the ups and downs in this game with the clutch Elder Sign draws on numerous occasions and the absolutely terrible tentacle draws at inopportune times, this game had highs and lows and everything in between. What a game. Alright, so Skids and Jenny redeem themselves, of sorts, in The House Always Wins. Next up is extracurricular activity, and we will be playing that another day. So that is it for me today. This is The Whisper in Darkness. If you enjoyed the playthrough today, I hope you did, give me a thumbs up, and you can hit subscribe to be informed when I post future playthroughs, reviews, and whatnot. Leave a comment if you see something that I did wrong in the you can leave a comment in the comments section if you see something that I did wrong, or if you just want to chat about the game. I can also be reached at manfromleng@gmail.com, and you can catch me on Twitter at manfromleng. Until the stars are right, this is Man from Leng wishing you happy investigating.